Hey, what's going on, everyone? Back out here in the garage again, getting ready to do some more work on the Studebaker. In the last video you saw, I finally got the floor done in the Studebaker. Now I can concentrate on some other things. That part of it is done. And I also got underneath done for the most part. Got it all seam sealed. Got some undercoating on it now so it doesn't rust. I still got some more painting to do underneath, and also I need to finish cleaning the frame, get it prepped for paint as well. So I ordered something the other day, it finally came in, and I'm getting ready to start doing the brakes on this thing, at least the front part. So I finally got the disc-to-disc proportionate valve in. So I'm going to get that on the car today. It's just your typical GM disc-to-disc proportioning valve. Very easy to use, very user-friendly. And so we're going to get ready to put that on here. I've already got the bracket on, and been doing some messing around with it. I had to do a little bit of mocking up as far as the lines go and get them to where I need them at, and I'll show you here in a minute. But let's go ahead and get this on and see where it's going to land at and kind of go from there. Sorry if it's kind of noisy out. Neighbors mowing grass next door. I've got my little blower going on to get some air going around in here because it's pretty hot today. So let me get the thread started on this and show you what we got going on. So these things you can pick up anywhere. I got this one off of eBay. Like I said, it's your generic GM style proportioning valve. So we're going to get this in and measure out for some brake lines. If I can get this thing on. Let's try this again. There we go. Alright, we got that snug. Go ahead and get our bolts in. Now these are fitting just a little tight, but I believe we can get them in. I had to kind of bend these a little bit and run parallel with this because the inner fender well, the way it comes down, I'm not going to be using all of the inner fender well, so it'll probably stop about right here, but that allows me access, nothing coming out this way, and overall it's a pretty good fit. It does come with added wiring plug-in for here. Don't know if I'm going to use that or not yet. But it wasn't too bad on the price on the kit. Of course, I bought this a while back. And so now what we need to do is I need to measure for brake lines on the front. But before I do that, I went ahead and drilled my hose out for my brake lines on both sides. I got some temporary clips holding them in right now. But what I didn't take in consideration is the width of these tires. So I'm going to put the tires on, test fit, make sure I'm in the clear. If not, I might have to move them further in to get clearance away from the tire. But let's go ahead and get the tires on and see what we have. All right, I got the wheels on. And looks like I'm probably going to have some issues with the hose hitting against the tire when it turns. So let's turn the steering wheel and see how bad it is. So let's go ahead and give it a turn and find out where it's going to start to hit. It's starting to hit right there. So let's take a look. So it's hitting good. So either I got to do something as far as bringing the hose like this, because I think if I try to go further in, I don't think it's going to be much of a difference, but we can find out. I mean, going the other way is fine, but, and we can go with a narrow rim, narrow tire. That would probably take care of a lot of the issues. But Brad likes the wide tire look on this thing, so that's what we're going with. Now there is going to be different tires and rims on this thing when it goes to the track. But let's see what we can do to get some more clearance out of this. Even if I move it back to here, we're still going to have some issues. But if I put a bracket on this side and get it up, that's going to take care of our problem. So let me get some stuff together, make a couple brackets, and see where we're going to be at after that. All right, I got the new brackets made. So let's get them on the car and get them tacked in and see how they look. All right, I got the brackets welded in place on both sides. And it looks like that's going to do the trick. Now we got plenty of clearance. Looks like that's going to work. So let me get them cleaned up and get them painted so they can dry. And then, like I said, I got to measure now for brake lines and go get them. All right, I got my first brake line bent. And let's go ahead and do a test fit on it and see what it looks like. Now, before we get it put on there, they're not hard to do. You know, basically, inexpensive bender. You can pick that up at like any auto parts store. It has changeable heads on it with the size on it and everything. And it works pretty good. Now, as far as getting the coil in it, like I did there, all I did was use the handle on my jack. As you can see there, it fits down in there. And I just used that to make my coil with. All right, we got our first foot in. I always do a 90, like a shepherd's hook. When I do these, we'll offset going down, back up, and she's in. Now, once I get the other side done, I've got some little one-hole clips that'll go in here, and I'll secure it so that way it doesn't move around and vibrate. And the reason I got the coil in here, and a lot of the older cars, especially full frame cars, they did this as kind of like a relief. Well, they say like body twist or anything like that. That allows a little bit of play up and down. 9 times out of 10, I've never seen that, but go ahead and have it in there just in case. And I'll do the other one the same way. Now, as far as the brake lines go, these days, man, you've got metric, you got standard, and these brake lines I've got will work. They're 3/16 brake line, but the ends are a metric end. So half time they don't carry the standard anymore, or they're out of it. I picked these up, which is a standard thread for a 3/16 line. And I just turn around, just cut like the end off what I'm gonna need and re-flare it. And these get like a double flare, which I've got the little kit I use. And some of y'all have been on the channel for a while, seen me do this before. So basically, I've got that. You go in, you do your first flare, come back to your second flare. It kind of rolls it back in, gives you a double flare. And that's about it. Practice. If you got a scrap piece of brake line, do it a few times, because you are going to mess up. Even still, I mess up. But it does, another one of those tools that doesn't cost a whole lot. It's nice to have in your toolbox. So now the fun's going to be getting this side bent all the way down the back cross member, back up, another coil, and then I got a 90 over and down to catch this one. I'm gonna go inside and cool off, get the other side done, and that's about all I can do until I get the rear end back and get the frame done, get it painted. I can start running lines towards the back. Other than that, that's gonna be it for me today. Have a good one, a safe one, and I'll see you down the road.